Welcome to the next session on the chapter Plant Kingdom. Last module we had learned about the first division, that is Thallophyta, and in this module we are going to begin with Bryophytes. Who are these Bryophytes? They are called as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. We know amphibians are those organisms which can live both in land and in water, and they are called as amphibians because they can live in soil, but they require water for sexual reproduction. So they cannot completely live in a dry environment. They are always seen in a damp, humid, and shaded localities. All these we would have seen these bryophytes on the walls, on the backyard walls of our houses, where there is always a humid atmosphere. Is it clear? So they are always seen in a damp or a humid locality. Why? Because they require water to complete sexual reproduction. And the body is differentiated more than that of the thallophyta. Even though their body is thallus-like, they are not having true stem to leaf or true roots. They are having stem-like, root-like, and leaf-like structures. Their body is more differentiated when compared to the thallophytes. Their body is thallus-like, prostrate or erect. Prostrate means they grow suppressed or oppressed to the substratum, and they are attached to the substratum by means of root-like structures called as rhizoids, which are either unicellular or made up of more than one cell, so they are multicellular. The plant body of bryophytes are haploid. What do you mean by haploid? Haploid, diploid, it is a number of sets of chromosomes present in them. If there are two sets of chromosomes are present, we can call it as diploid. But if only one set of chromosome is present, we call it as haploid. It is represented as 1N. Okay. So the function of these haploid plant body is to produce gametes. Hence, the plant body which produces gametes are called as gametophyte. So the plant body of the bryophytes are called as gametophytes. Now the sex organs, about the reproduction. The sex organs in bryophytes, they are multicellular. They are producing multicellular structures. The male sex organ is called as the antheridium. It is called as the antheridium. This is the antheridium which is present at the topmost level. Antheridium. Okay, and the function of the antheridium is to produce biflagellated antherzoids. So the male gamete is called as antherzoids, and they are motile. They are having two flagella. And the female sex organ is called as archegonia. They are called as archegonia or archegonium. At the base of the umbrella-like structure, we can see the archegonium, which is flask-like structure, and it produces a single egg. So antheridium is a male sex organ which produces the antherzoids, and the archegonium is the female sex organ which is flask-shaped and produces a single egg. Antherzoids, they are released into water, and they reach through the water, they reach the archegonium, and inside the archegonium we know there is an egg, and the antherzoid fuses with the egg to form the zygote. And the zygote, what happens, we can see that this is the sperm entering into the flask-shaped archegonium, and after that they fuse together to form the zygote. And the zygote, they do not undergo meiosis immediately. The zygote does not undergo meiosis, and it in turn they start dividing. We know meiosis is reduction or division. That means N plus N, that is the gamete, male gamete and female gamete, N plus N, they will fuse together to form a zygote which is 2N. But what is a plant body? It is haploid. It will have only 1N. So this 2N structure, it divides and redivides to form a multicellular structure which is called as the sporophyte. So sporophyte is 2N because it is formed by the fusion of two gametes, that is the male and the female gamete. So it is diploid in nature, and it is not free living. It is not free living. We can see it is getting attached. This is a mature sporophyte which is attached to the photosynthetic gametophyte and derives nutrition from the photosynthetic gametophyte, which is haploid in nature. And some cells of the sporophyte, within these we can see some cells of the sporophyte, they undergo meiotic division. So all the cells of the sporophyte will be 2N, and if it is undergoing meiotic division, it produces spores. Okay, it produces spores. And what will be the ploidy level of spores? Because the spores are the product of meiotic division or reductional division. So what will be the ploidy level of the spores? They will be haploid. So the diploid sporophytic cells, some cells will undergo meiotic division and they will produce spores. So the function of the sporophyte is to produce spores, whereas the function of the gametophyte was to produce the gametes. Whereas the gametes fuse together and they form a diploid zygote, and the zygote develops into an embryo. The embryo divides to form a multicellular structure which is called a sporophyte, which is dependent on the gametophyte for its nutrition. It is not free living. And some cells undergo meiosis to form the haploid spores. These spores, when they are released, they undergo germination to produce a gametophyte. So from the gametophyte, gametes were produced. The gametes fused together to form the sporophyte. From the sporophyte, meiosis occurs in some cells and produce the haploid spores which germinate to produce the gametophyte. So what is the importance of bryophytes? Some mosses, they provide food for herbaceous mammals, birds. Species of sphagnum, that is a type of moss, they produce peat. It is used as a fuel and it has greater water holding capacity. This is a sphagnum which is helped in the formation of peat, which is acting as a source of fuel, and it also is able to retain a large amount of water. So they are used for packing materials, for shipment of living materials. And they are very important in plant cessation because they are seen to appear on bare rocks or soil, and mosses along with lichens, they decompose the rocks, making the substrate suitable for the growth of higher plants. So in the cessation of plants, it began on bare rocks, and the first plants to appear over there will be lichens, and lichens are followed by these bryophytes, and these lichens and bryophytes together, they produce a certain enzymes which help to dissolve the rocks and helps in the formation of soil, and thus help in cessation of plants. Thus it is helping in, we can see this is the picture which is depicting cessation of plants. Next is it is helping, it is forming a dense mat on the soil, and thus it prevents soil erosion. So these are the uses of bryophytes. So bryophytes are a source of food. They are from peat, and also it is helping in packing materials for shipment, and it is helping in cessation and also prevents soil erosion. Dear children, in this module we learned about the general features of the second division called as bryophytes. These bryophytes are called as amphibians of the plant kingdom because they require water for sexual reproduction, and they are always found in damp or humid localities, and they are having a bit more greater organization, thallus organization when compared to the algae, and they have stem-like, root-like and leaf-like structures, and the plant body is called as the gametophyte, which is haploid in nature, and the gametophyte produces haploid gametes which fuse together to form a diploid zygote which undergoes division to produce a diploid sporophyte, and its function is to produce spores by meiotic division, and these spores are haploid and they germinate to produce a haploid gametophyte. Hope the concepts are clear for you. Thank you.